Hi, I'm Ian Taylor from Ian Taylor Trekking, and today I'm going to talk to you about what I will bring on my Annapurna Base Camp Trek. So our Annapurna Base Camp trips, we run about 10 a year. We like to go to Poon Hill first and then trek a kind of a circuit into Annapurna Base Camp and then finish in Juneau at the hot springs. I think this is a great way to see the whole region and get the best out of the region. We also do trips on the Annapurna circuit and Soon Valley, Mardi Himal, and all through the kind of Annapurna region. But this is kind of what I would bring with me for an Annapurna trek. Now you can trek to Annapurna, it's lower down, lower than the Everest region, and the high point is like just over 4,000 meters, or 13,800 I think is the in feet. So it's not that high up. You can trek there January, February, March, April, even into May. And you can trek again the kind of September through December time frame. So Annapurna has a lot more range and time for trekking. And like I said, we try and run about 10 trips a year there. So this is kind of what I will bring, and a variation of this. And we have like a document with a full kit list, and all of this will be itemized, exactly the piece of kit that you need for the trip. So this is what I will bring. First of all, my backpack. Again, I like anything with more waist support. Anything that has side pockets for sun cream, lip balm, etc. And something that has a really good waist support and really good back support. This bag is a 50 plus 10, which is kind of too big, but this is what I would kind of normally bring on a 2-week trip. A 35 litre backpack is fine. You have to be able to fit your rain gear, layers, water, camelback, sun cream, camera, etc. So the backpack does need to be big enough for that. So 35 litres is usually plenty. But think about waist support, think about other trips, and think about future trips. This is my favorite backpack, and I'll have this pretty much with me all the time. So backpack, I will have in there the whole time. I'll have rain gear, Gore-Tex gear, I'll have my top, and I'll have a bottom rain pant, Gore-Tex layer. I'll have that in my backpack, and it will stay in my backpack the whole time. While I'm on the trail, I obviously always wear trekking boots, not trail shoes. There's a lot of stairs and steps in the Annapurna Trail, up and down, and if you've ever been in the Himalayas before, it's all stairs, up and down, up and down, up and down. So having good ankle support, a good trekking boot, Gore-Tex, good grips, solid hiking boot or trekking boot is what I need. This is a La Sportiva trekking boot, and there's tons of good boots out there. I also, when I arrive into the lodges every night, I like to be able to switch over into a whole new set of new clothes, and then I put on my fresh socks, fresh underwear, fresh clothes, and then I have these trail shoes to switch into just for walking around in some of the villages and just to be comfortable while I'm hanging out. So I'll have those with me. I'll put these in here. Then I have kind of from bottom up. Annapurna Base Camp most of the time is quite warm, so I don't really need really thick trekking socks. Maybe one pair for higher up, but most of the time it's like lighter trekking socks. So you know, it's up to you personally, but you know, 4, 5, 6 pairs, whatever works for you. Definitely with having them, and definitely worth having dry bags that you can kind of keep things separated while you're, you know, in your duffel bag, and when you're kind of going into your room every night, so you know where everything is and keeping things easy to get at. So I'll put those in here. The underwear that I use, always merino wool, smart wool, icebreaker. There's tons of options out there now. For the trip, you can bring 4, 5, 6, obviously more pairs for females, but it's up to you, but definitely go with merino wool. It's the best option. Those in. So most of the time on the trail, even down lower, it's quite warm. It's shorts and t-shirt a lot of the way, if not in certain months, all the way up. And then obviously it gets cooler at night and it gets warmer during the day, so you kind of have to manage your layering system and the gear that you bring. So I have trekking socks, I have trekking pants with me, and these ones are zip off so they can turn into shorts. And then I also have I have one pair of those. You can bring 2 pair of those. And I have 1 pair of trekking shorts with me as well, just to have an option for sleeping in or higher up if it was needed. You know, on the morning you wake up in Annapurna Base Camp in the lodge, you know, you go out early for the sunrise and it's absolutely spectacular. You might want to have a base layer with you on that trail or at that time, and then if you needed it higher up. Or sleeping in, and then it's always good to have a comfortable pair of pants to kind of switch out of your trekking gear and into the comfortable pants. And these are Sherpa pants. You can buy these in Kathmandu, or any sort of tracksuit or anything that's comfortable will work just fine. So that's kind of my bottom layer. And then on the top, definitely worth having 3-4 t-shirts, merino t-shirts. It can be, like I said, very hot lower down on the trail, and most of the time you're wearing t-shirts, and you can bring, like I said, 3 or 4 of these and rotate them. And then if you want, you could have 1, maybe 2 long sleeve, you know, maybe for sleeping in or just being hanging around in the evening. Merino wool obviously is the best, so you can bring 1 of these, you can bring 2 of these. Put those in. So on addition to that, you have a few options. I always have a fleece with me, long sleeve fleece. It can be light, it can be, doesn't really matter, any sort of fleece. And I'll normally carry this in my backpack with me every day. Just, we arrive in for lunch and it was a little windy or it was cooler. It's always good to have an extra layer with you. And then I always have a lighter down jacket with me for when I get up and when it's nighttime, or we're up in Annapurna Base Camp or Matsupucheri Base Camp. It's always good to have a light down jacket with you, and you could have if you really wanted to, you could also have a light vest. It doesn't have to be even this thick, lighter, synthetic, doesn't have to be down, because you can wear that on top of your t-shirt or your long sleeve or just hanging around. They're all super light, so these are good layers to have, fleece, down, and a vest with you. Slip this in here. So also you need to have a 3-season sleeping bag. So you need to have some sort of a sleeping bag, you know, maybe rated to -15. Doesn't have to be down. It can be synthetic. We have this listed in our dossier, but you need a sleeping bag, and having something to put it in, and then being able to tie it up in a stuff sack just makes it more compact and easier to get into the duffel bag. A few more items. So more than likely on the trail, you're going to be using higher up or in base camp something like this. Just a liner, thicker liner glove. You don't always need warmer gloves on the Annapurna trail, or even up in base camp, but it's good to have the liners, and it's good to have a pair of Gore-Tex gloves just in case you need them. So we put those in. You definitely want to have a buff for the sun, just to be able to keep around your neck, just to keep you warm and keep the sun off you during the day. So I'll have one of these, and it's just a good thing to have with you if you need to cover your face. I'll always have a sun hat and a baseball hat, just to keep the sun off me when I just don't want to be getting fried. We're outdoors all day, so thinking about that is important. And then having like a light beanie at night when you're sitting in the lodge and just hanging around. Those are kind of 3 things you should bring with you. On top of that, I always bring, for hydration, obviously you need to be drinking 4 or 5 liters of water every day. So I have my Camelback 2 liters, and I have the nozzle to kind of keep it clean. I always try and keep this clean, keep it covered. You don't want this touching anything, getting dirty off in the lodges or off people's bags. There's a lot of dirt around the place, so you want to keep this clean and always keep treating it with hand sanitizer just to make sure it's clean. So I'll have this with me. That'll be in my backpack. And then I always like to have 2 Nalgene's with me, just in case. I like to wake up in the morning, have a liter of water before I start hiking and drinking more water. So I always have 2 with me, just in case. I also have usually 2 pairs of glasses. Excuse me. Category 3, Category 4 are fine. These are Jublos and they work really well. Good eye coverage is always a good option, just to make sure you're keeping your eyes covered from the rays of the sun. Just having a towel for making, cleaning up, brushing your teeth, just having a light dryable towel, super useful. Having a battery charger and an adapter for the lodges is really important. Some people like to bring their own battery pack as well, so they don't run out. So having your cords and your phone and your camera and all that stuff sorted, think about all of that, what you need to do. Bring a head torch and spare batteries always, just in case for the evenings around camp and the lodges and around the towns and up in base camp too. And then always bring like a small medical kit. We have like a list of everything we recommend that you bring. So there'll be certain things that we recommend that you have, and you'll need to have that with you. And then just having some sort of a wallet for your passport, your money, all that stuff. And then a small toiletry bag for the trip with toothpaste and toothbrush and kind of all the different things you need on the trail. So that's pretty much all I'll bring. And the porters, it's not that heavy, although that doesn't have everything in there. We have a full list of all of this gear itemized to send to you, so feel free to just get in touch with us. Like I said, we have our own staff in Kathmandu, we have our own office, we have our own setup. The trips that we run are the highest quality. So get in touch with us. We'd love to see you on one of our Annapurna trips. The website's iantaylortrekking.com. Feel free to email me directly. It's ian@iantaylortrekking.com. We'd love to see you on one of our Nepal trips sometime in the future.